our own fellow business partners here. Tenneille is going to be our guest speaker. And I am sure that each and every one of you, there is something that you'll learn tonight that you did not know. Because every time that Tenneille speaks, every time that she shares something in this category, I'm learning something new. So I look forward to seeing all of the faces. And just in case you do want to ask any questions, what we're going to do is we're going to run through all the information that Tenneille wants to share with us this evening. And afterwards, if we do have time, there is a chat button. So for anyone that's on a laptop, you hover your mouse over the computer, you'll see down the bottom, there's a little chat button. You can either send something specifically to Tenneille or everybody. I do ask you to refrain from doing that while she is doing the presentation, just because I don't want her to lose her space or anything like that. But yeah, we will open it for questions if we have time. If we do run out of time and your question is not asked, I do invite you to get in touch with the person that has invited you to this call this evening. And if you're watching the recording, then the person that has sent you the recording. So welcome everybody. My name is Christy Carney. I'm based here on the Fraser Coast of Queensland, and we are part of the Real Health Revolution. We're wanting to share and educate people across the world with what we know and what we're learning on a daily basis, either from ourselves, from our gorgeous fellow team members and business partners in the States, Dr. Ginger Decker. But tonight in the hot seat is Tenneille. And without further ado, you might want to have pen and paper handy. I know I've got mine ready, but prepare to learn something new. Over to you, Tenneille.
Thank you, Christy. And thank you, everybody, for getting on. I only found out Saturday that I was speaking tonight, so lucky I was prepared for Saturday. I'll give you a very, very brief rundown on my background. I studied as a beauty therapist way back in 1997 and 1998. I qualified with a diploma of beauty therapy, so it was an 18-month diploma back then. I worked in and out of the industry for quite a few years, and then I actually travelled the world and came home and thought I wanted to do something a bit more exciting and joined the ambulance service. So I had a couple of years with the ambulance service where I met my husband, and then we've gone on to have 3 children. So I have been looking for ways to work from home ever since having the kids, and was with another skincare and makeup company for 8 years, which was perfect. It fit in great with the family. But 12 months ago, I actually decided I wanted to go on a mission to find the purest and safest and most toxic-free skincare and makeup and beauty and nutrition products that I could actually find. And along the way, Christy actually introduced me to some amazing products, and here I am today. So that's a very brief rundown of my story and how I've got here. So I have been in and out of the beauty industry for 20 years. And like I said, my passion now really is toxic-free ingredients and products. So when I first studied as a beauty therapist and was working, I worked with all your top lines, and at no point did anybody ever pull me up or make me think about what ingredients we were using on ourselves and on other people. So it wasn't really until after I'd had children and joined this other company that it dawned on me what we were putting on our bodies every single day was toxic, and the accumulation of that was leading to so many diseases and illness. And autoimmune diseases and all sorts of things. So I myself have actually got fibromyalgia and pyrolies, which are, well, fibromyalgia is an autoimmune disease. So since going on this path of living a less toxic life and putting good whole food nutrition into my body, I have actually seen a huge improvement in my own health, which has been fantastic. So what I actually want to share with you tonight is the presentation that I did for everybody on Saturday. So I'm hoping that my screen will work okay, and I'll ask you all just to confirm that you can actually see what I share. First of all, I'll ask you all if you know what the biggest organ is. And if you don't know, just give me a thumbs up and let me know that you can actually see my screen. Yes, excellent, yay. We might have a few dramas, hopefully not. Last time I did this, it didn't want to move with me, but fingers crossed it'll all flow well tonight. So your largest organ, of course, is your skin. It covers our entire body. It's the most visible organ, unlike other organs that are all hidden inside our skin. The skin has a huge job in protecting our body. Now, hang on, let me hope this is going to scroll down for me. Is it going to play up like last time? Oh, there we go. Can you see that? So we want to love our skin. Hang on, this is not going where I want it to go. Hang on 2 seconds. Sorry, everybody. That is not the presentation I wanted to show you. That's the one saved on my computer, not the one that I did the other day. Okay, let's try again. Sorry. Okay. Oh, geez. It's always the way, isn't it? Can you see this one? All right. Ah, this is the one I want. Okay, so the skin has a really important job. It's actually called our integumentary system, and it's the largest and most visible system of the body. It's responsible for the maintenance of, well, our psychological and physiological well-being. So the function of the skin itself is as a barrier and a carrier. So as a barrier, it's protecting us against bacteria, viruses, excessive water loss. It protects all our internal organs and all our tissues and all that sort of thing. It has a sensory role, so it's got nerve endings and things in it so that we can feel. It's responsible for the synthesis of vitamin D. It also has an aesthetic function, so obviously we want it to look pretty. And it actually absorbs. So whatever we put on our skin actually absorbed and affects every internal organ. Somebody needs to mute themselves. Can you see who that is, Christy? So actually within 26 seconds, everything you put on your skin is absorbed within 26 seconds. So if we're putting chemicals on our body every day, it's actually entering our bloodstream a lot quicker than anything we put in our mouth. So sublingually is the next quickest way for us to absorb things, which means under the tongue. And then obviously through our digestive tract, which takes a lot longer because it needs to go, obviously, be broken down and go all the way through our bodies. So I found this great little slide about exactly what I've just said. So it's about the process of detoxification and elimination. So toxins enter our bodies either through the lungs, the skin, or through our intestines. So obviously through the lungs is what we breathe in. Through our skin is what we put on our skin or the actual environment that we're in. And through our gut or our intestines. So that's actually what we're ingesting. So all of those toxins need to be processed through our liver. The poor little liver has got a huge job of processing all these toxins. And anything that's not processed or excess toxins are actually stored in places like fat cells, bone marrow, liver, joints, blood, tissues, muscles. But our fat cells, like Dr. Ginger has told us, act like little suitcases. So they actually hang on to toxins. So I've spoken in the past about people who are carrying excess weight. Often that excess weight can be attributed to the excess toxins that are in their life and are storing in those fat cells. And if they're not storing in the fat cells, like this slide shows, they're storing in other areas of our body, which, if you can read the tiny little writing at the bottom, says that then it can lead to side effects and signs of toxicity, such as acne, skin allergies and rashes, arthritis, autoimmune disorders, cardiovascular disease, chronic fatigue, constipation, diabetes, diarrhea, fibromyalgia, like I mentioned I've got, headaches, which is something I've always suffered really badly with as well, hormone imbalances, inflammatory disorders, IBS, neurological disorders, obesity and overweight. So many things, ailments, diseases that can be attributed back to excess toxins in our life. So this great little document talks about some of those toxins that come through the cosmetic world, and obviously that's my passion, so that's what we're here to talk about tonight. But if you think about before you leave the house in the morning, the process that you actually go through. So most women will wash our hair, have a shower, clean our teeth, put some deodorant on, put some makeup on, maybe a bit of perfume, hand cream, you know, whatever it is that you do in the morning before you leave the house every day. Every single one of those things contains toxins or chemicals. You add those up over a lifetime or over a day even, and they say on average most women are probably applying about 515 chemicals to their body every single day. So you just think about the effect that that is having on our poor little bodies and our livers. to have to process that and deal with that every day. And then it's storing in all those areas of our body that I mentioned just before. So like I said, they're coming from our cosmetics, our lipsticks, our shampoos, conditioners, all those sorts of things. I found this great little slide as well that talks about the top 12 toxins in our personal care products. There's lots of little algorithms, I think you call them, DHAs and BPAs and all those sorts of things. But the main ingredient in the cosmetic world, most cosmetics, the base of the cosmetic itself, if it's some sort of soap or cleanser, is usually the bottom one in the middle there, sodium lauryl sulfate. That's your foaming agent. They use it as a degreaser. You know, it's actually just a foaming agent to strip things, to clean them. So they actually put that in our cosmetics. So if any of your soaps and things foam up, I guarantee you, if you look at the ingredient list on the back, it will say sodium lauryl sulfate or lauryl sulfate. The second biggest, or the next biggest ingredient you'll see on most of your cosmetics is petroleum. They use a couple of fancy words for this. It might say mineral oil, which is exactly what it is. It might say petrolatum, nujol. There's a couple of different fancy words to make it sound pretty. But at the end of the day, petroleum is actually mineral oil. It comes from the same source we get our petrol. So it's actually crude oil. The next slide I'll show you in a minute talks more about that. Then you've got, which is actually not on this slide, but the original soap, when you think about a cake of soap and what they used to make, you know, years and years ago, that we consider to be soap, was a combination of sodium lauryl sulfate and animal fat. So the next biggest product you will find in most cosmetics is animal fat. So what they do is they actually get all the roadkill, all the euthanized animals, all the leftovers from the meatworks, whatever animals they've got left, and they take them to a place called the rendering plant, where they stick them in a big vat, they boil them all up, and all the fat that surfaces, they scoop it all off, and it's called tallow, and they stick it in cosmetics. They also stick it in your fabric softeners. So if you're putting fabric softeners through your washing machine, they'll destroy your washing machine because it's basically just animal fat. What else is there? So then you've got preservatives as well. So you've got parabens and another product that's not mentioned there called phenoxyethanol, which are highly toxic preservatives because obviously they want all these products to have a shelf life. And I think I have heard that the shelf life can be up to 12 years. Those products can sit on the supermarket shelf. The other thing you'll see there is formaldehyde releasing preservatives. So we all know formaldehyde, or you may not know, formaldehyde was what they used to preserve mummies. So they wanted them to last for a very, very, very long time. And that's what they use. It's an embalming agent in all our cosmetics to preserve it as well. The other thing you'll find, even with a lot of organic ingredients apparently that come in from overseas, when they get on shipping containers and things, they actually spray them with formaldehyde to preserve them and to prevent bugs and things getting into them while they're being shipped here. So it's pretty horrific when you start looking into the cosmetic world and what goes into it and what's actually allowed to go on our shelves, because most of us are walking around thinking surely our government makes sure that everything that is put on our shelf is safe. Unfortunately, it's actually not true. There's really no governing body out there that controls what goes into cosmetics and what we put on our body every day. So yeah, a bit scary. So like I mentioned, what is petroleum? It's actually a natural yellow to black flammable liquid hydrocarbon that's found beneath the Earth's surface. So that's how they make our petrol. And that doesn't look very pretty. So obviously they refine it down so it becomes a clear liquid when they put it into cosmetics. And like I mentioned, animal fat was the other one. So you can imagine if you were wearing a lot of petrol and some animal carcass, you wouldn't smell very pretty. So you may have noticed one of the other things on the previous slide was parfum or fragrance. So if you're using a product that's highly fragranced, it's usually a fairly good indication that the products are not very nice that are in the bottle of whatever you're using, because they're trying to cover up what's in there. And fragrance itself is highly toxic. And has, you know, with myself, if I'm around somebody who's wearing fragrances, or especially synthetic fragrances, I straight away notice my sinuses get really blocked and I get a piercing headache. Some people get blood pressure problems, and it can lead to systemic disorders, autoimmune diseases, and in worst case scenario, anaphylactic shock and death. So fragrance is not a very nice product either. Like I mentioned before, the preservative, or one of the preservatives that they use in most cosmetics, is a paraben. So you'll see when you go into your bathroom and you turn your ingredients around, at the bottom usually of the ingredients list, it will say a number of, some of them horrific, some of them will have 6 parabens on there. So they'll say things like methylparaben, propylparaben, beta-paraben, but at the end of the day, they're all parabens, and they've all been very, very heavily linked to breast cancer. So they've actually found that 99% of breast cancer tissue had traces of parabens in it, because your lymphatic system is actually trying to deal with that and flush that out, and it builds up in your lymph nodes, and the main lymph nodes being the ones under your arms closest to your breasts. So pretty scary. The other one you'll see, which was on the previous slide, was PEG. So it actually stands for propylene glycol, which is in all your toothpaste, deodorants, cosmetics, shampoos, acne treatments, all those sorts of things. And the purpose of it is as a skin conditioning agent, which keeps the product from melting or freezing. The dangers of this are that it can cause cancer, developmental and reproductive issues, allergies, immunotoxicity, neurotoxicity, and endocrine disruption and skin irritation. Now, the other thing that this doesn't really talk about is that they're also hormone disruptors. So a lot of people are having hormone problems and estrogen problems, mood swings, all those sorts of things, problems with PMS can all be at some point attributed, and I'm not claiming that that's the only reason, but can be attributed to these endocrine disruptors that are in our cosmetics we're using every day. And like I mentioned earlier, sodium lauryl sulfate, which will often say on the ingredient list SLS, and you'll see a lot of new companies and new products out there on the market will have on their packaging SLS free or paraben free, which is fantastic that a lot more companies are moving that way. But I would still be very careful, especially your lower end products. I would still be looking very carefully at the ingredients list and seeing what else they've got in there. And like I mentioned, fragrance. Just on the right there of the fragrance. Now you can see this slide moving, can't you, Chrissy? Just confirm for me that this is moving as I'm moving. The slideshow, yep. So the other one you can see on the right there is phthalates, and it's another toxic ingredient that's used to preserve products. It's been linked to reproductive and developmental problems as well. Yeah, fragrance, horrible stuff. So if anything you're using is fragranced, even I often say to people, look at your washing powders, washing detergents, your toilet sprays, all the pretty little things people have around their homes to make it smell nice. They are, I pretty much guarantee it, toxic. So you're surrounding yourself with all of that every day and inhaling it. It ends up on your skin, all that sort of thing. So like I mentioned earlier, your fat cells actually act like little suitcases. So if you or someone you know are carrying a fair bit of weight, it could just be the link that they're missing. Like you hear a lot of people who are carrying weight say, I've been on every diet, I'm trying everything, I'm doing exercise. They might not realize that it's actually those little things. The soap they're using every day, the shampoo, the washing powder, the toilet sprays, all of those extra little things that they haven't thought about. So the best thing we can do is cleanse, first of all, those products out of people's lives, and that's where I come in. I'm very passionate about teaching people how to remove those toxins from their life. But we've also got some fantastic products, or one in particular, that can help people to remove those toxins from their system. So it's a powder that you can put into a drink, and it'll actually help to pull those toxins out of your body. So at the end of the day, you want to give your skin food that it will love. Like I said, removing the toxins can help with that, which will often lead to losing the weight as well, because you've removed those toxins from your life. So I have mentioned too, for quite a few years, a website. There's two in particular. One's called mercola.com and the other one is EWG Skin Deep. So you can find these websites, and they've also now got apps that you can download. Excuse me. And you can go on there and you can type in the name of the product or the company or the brand or whatever it is that you're using at the moment. And you'll see on the Mercola one, excuse me, that there is a score. So it will say 0 to 2 in green, which means the product's safe to use. Between 3 and 6 in yellow actually means you probably really want to be careful about using them. And anything that's in the red, you do not want to be using. So I highly recommend that all of you go to the EWG website and you type in whatever the brand you're using is, or you can actually type in the ingredients as well. So you can go and grab whatever your ingredients you're using and type the list in, because some of the products won't always come up. but highly recommend doing that. So at the end of the day, you need to love yourself enough to live a healthy life, and you need to make the right choices. But like Dr. Ginger said to us for a while now, you don't know what you don't know. And that's what we're all here about at this weekly Real Health Revolution call that we do. It's all about educating people so that you do know this stuff, so that now you can go on and make much better, safer choices about what you're using in your life. So that's that little presentation. Christy, I don't know if people want to ask questions now before I go on to the products that we actually recommend, or if you want to add anything there.
Is everyone else's head spinning?
It's a bit scary.
I'm sure there's something that you didn't know before. If you do know how to unmute yourself, you're welcome to. If you know how to do the chat on the sidebar at the bottom there, you're welcome to put in questions in there. If we do open it up, there's 14 people here. So if we do open it up, that may take the rest of the night.
Maybe just take two questions and then I can go on, maybe.
Yeah, I might just go here. If anyone would like to raise their hand, I can. Dina, put her hand up first, so I'll let her go, and then Mary, I'll let you go next. So Dina.
All right. Hey guys. So hey Tenneille, great job. Quick question. Did you use the word tallow for the name of a product? That went kind of quick. So
yeah, sorry. So animal fat is referred to as tallow in your
like TELLO?
I think it's actually TALLOW.
Okay. Oh right. Okay, got it. Okay, thank you.
Dawn's nodding her head, so we're getting a second on that one. Yep, TALLOW.
Yeah.
And then Mary Slee.
You'll see it on your fabric softeners and things too. So
sure. Okay. Great.
Probably not in Dina's house, but maybe. Mary Slee, you put your hand up second, so I'll let you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just with those apps, hey, the EWG one apparently has just had an update and it hasn't got a lot of products anymore on it. It was really frustrating.
Okay.
And that Mercola, I can't get it, so maybe on Monday we can have a play.
Okay.
And see. But that EWG, it was quite exciting, but it's got hardly anything on it anymore.
Yeah.
So
do you know why?
Natalie told us the other day what the name of the new app is, so if she wants to just maybe type it in the comments if she's listening. She's on the new iPad there.
Yeah.
Got a new app. Can you remember what it was called?
Healthy Living.
There we go.
Healthy Living.
Healthy Living.
And it looks like a green and white, almost like a thumbprint. Dawn, was that what you were putting up to the screen before? Yeah, it's a green background with a white sort of. It's not a thumbprint, but you could, at a quick glance, you'd sort of think that it was. Healthy Living is the app.
Thank you. Cool.
And Natalie, do you want to just tune in and tell them why there's not so many listed on the EWG site anymore?
Does she know?
Sorry, Christy, was that me?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm really sorry, but I'm halfway through a storybook.
Okay, all right. I will. That's all right. I will share it.
I am listening while I'm reading.
Multitasking at its finest. Thanks,
Yeah.
Nat. So the reason why, Mary, that you're finding there's not so many on there anymore is they have to actually go through the testing. Each company has to offer their products for them to test, analyze, and put on the site.
Okay.
And so the reason they're not on there is because they've either not added the new updated versions of their products, their ingredients, or they've not made the cut.
Okay. So I think I've got that one. So we'll see.
Yeah. So that's that. Okay. Kelly put her hand up, but it was a virtual hand, so I don't know if she was just pressing buttons or not. But if you want to put it in the chat, we'll continue on because that's just shared with you what's out there, which is just so scary. And just when you sort of think, okay, so what do I do? What can I use? Tenneille's actually got some solutions for that now as well. So we'll hand over to slide presentation 2 and back over to Tenneille.
Okay, so I searched long and hard for some truly toxic-free products. And like I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of companies out there now that are moving this way, that are either SLS-free or paraben-free, but unfortunately, a lot of health companies haven't quite got everything out of their ingredients. So I have very excitedly and fortunately found one. One company that is actually completely toxic free and will not compromise on ingredients. And I'm about to show you some of their products. So they've only actually at the moment got quite a small skincare line. Now let's hope I can bring up the right presentation. No, of course it's not going to show it to me, is it? Oh, this laptop is my husband's and it never wants to play the game. I'm sure he puts a bug in it every time I want to use it. Sorry, ladies. I had these all set up, ready to go. Of course, now it doesn't want to. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Let's see. Sorry. Okay, here we go. Please tell me you can see that. Yes? Yippee! Okay, great. So obviously I was looking for a new skincare line and Christy introduced me to this one. Now the thing that I really, really was impressed with was their no compromise attitude and their absolute commitment to being clean. So at the moment what we have got are products that are safe, effective, therapeutic and multifunctional. So instead of needing lots and lots of products, we no longer need to do that. And we guarantee that we use real ingredients. So they've come from fruits, plants, flowers, nuts, seeds, all those sorts of beautiful things that actually feed and nourish your skin without the need for all those chemicals. So my whole philosophy has been that you can look and feel beautiful inside and out without using toxic products. And finally, I've found something that I can be passionate about and truly back 150% because the company will offer what they deliver. So what ingredients do these products use? They use vitamin C, which is a powerful antioxidant that mitigates damage caused by UV exposure, clarifies and brightens the skin. So vitamin C was discovered quite a while ago for how effective it is in skincare. So we have taken that on with this company have taken that on with these products because of how effective vitamin C is, and especially in its natural form. Another ingredient they use is Swiss snow algae, which is pretty cool. Whoever even knew that Swiss snow algae existed? I didn't. But apparently it does, and it lives in like sub-zero temperatures in, I'm guessing, somewhere like Alaska, but I don't actually know. Maybe one of the Americans can confirm for us where it actually comes from. But Swiss snow algae has been linked or proven to help skin retain its moisture. And that is one big thing I've been educating people on for a long time, especially those of us who live in such a harsh environment like Australia. Most of our skin is dehydrated because your skin, as much as it's made up of, mainly water. I don't know exactly what the statistics are anymore. We don't actually have the ability to produce more water for our skin. So your skin produces sebum or oil to keep it moist. But the way that we get hydrated is by drinking water or by putting products on that actually retain or give the moisture back to the skin. So the problem I have with a lot of natural skincare lines that are out there is that a lot of them are heavily oil-based or heavily essential oil-based, and your skin can't actually cope with all of that oil. So something I've talked about for a long time, especially with teenagers, is that they get into this vicious cycle of their skin producing this excess oil and then them feeling the need to strip their skin. So they'll use, you know, antibacterial washes and things like that. And actually all that's doing is stripping the skin of its vital nutrients and moisture. And then the skin goes into almost like this state of overactivity where it thinks, oh my gosh, there's no moisture, I need to pump oil, pump oil, pump oil. And then the kids think, I don't want to put any more moisture on my skin and I want to strip it more. And you can see the picture, it just becomes this messy picture or cycle of oil flow. So it's really, really important to keep the hydration in your skin and to be giving your skin the vital hydration that it needs. So this Swiss snow algae has proven that that's what it can do, help the skin retain its moisture. It also reduces the appearance of age spots, which a lot of us, especially in these harsh environments where we spend a lot of time in the sun, are all concerned about. And it rejuvenates the skin at a cellular level. The other thing that's pretty cool is we use this red Japanese coral grass, which apparently has had phenomenal results with alleviating rough, dry skin. So that's something else a lot of people suffer with in these harsh environments. Something I've always educated people on too is the need to exfoliate. So we don't yet have an exfoliant, but it's really important to exfoliate those dead skin cells off your skin so that the new skin can come through. This Japanese coral grass also helps the skin retain moisture and reduces redness. So if you have any problems with redness, it will help to alleviate that as well. And with regards to my previous slideshow, we use only safe ingredients. So there's no phthalates, there's no parabens, there's no PEGs, there's no artificial colours, there's no synthetic fragrances, and there's no chemical preservatives like other companies are still using. And the big one you'll see, like other than parabens, is that phenoxyethanol that I mentioned before. So I was going to say something then, it totally just went out of my head. Anyway, you can be guaranteed, oh, that's what I was going to say. The preservative that we actually do use is fermented radish root, which is pretty amazing. So this company have gone to great lengths to find a preservative that is natural and does the same job as what those chemicals out there on the shelves are doing. And the clinical results have been amazing. So all these cosmetic companies, when they release products, have, well, not all of them probably, but we have given these products to a third-party company to do clinical testing. So they actually do blind testing, which means they give the product to the company. Nobody knows who the company is or where the products have come from. And they get a group of volunteers to trial all the products. So the volunteers actually don't know what the products are or the company or any of that sort of thing. So they were given these products for 6 weeks to trial. And with our first two products, which are the brightening cream that you see at the top there and the serum, they had fantastic results. Now, the reason this company have brought out brightening cream and serum first are that apparently they are the two biggest sellers in the skincare market out there. But the majority of them on the market are highly toxic. So this particular company wanted to bring out products that were safe so that people who were using those products obviously didn't need to go out and use the toxic ones. So now I'm getting a bit carried away. Anyway, so the other beautiful thing about all our products, along with the nutrition lines that we use, is that our products are, all the ingredients are at therapeutic levels. So they're treating your skin. This company believes that the products must not only maintain the skin's natural function, but protect and condition the skin at the same time. So you want to get results, these products need to be effective. And like I mentioned earlier, they're multifunctional. So many product lines that I've worked with in the past have umpteen numbers of products. And people will say, oh my God, put numbers on these. I don't know how to use them. You know, when do I use them? Morning, night? What? I don't know what to do with all these products. So the fantastic thing about these products is that they're multifunctional. So until recently, we only had these two products, the serum and the brightening cream. The serum is actually a tightening serum and just works fantastically and almost immediately in getting results. So I actually wasn't going to show you the pricing there. I'm going to jump out of here and show you the third product that we were very excited to have released just recently when Christy and I were fortunate enough to have a trip to Hong Kong. Okay, can you see this screen? Yes, cool, excellent. So something I didn't mention earlier is that these products are called Gervais. The brand actually stands for the joy of youthfulness, which is quite cool. Sort of a French combination of two words that mean the joy of youthfulness. And they wanted to depict this in the true you. So if we all think back to when we were probably 10 or 12, prepubescent, when our skin was at its best and we just looked beautiful and had this plump baby skin, we didn't know any better back then. That's when most of us think about the true you, the true me. That's who I really was before all, life got in the way. So that's where these guys have gone with their naming of these products. So where are we going here? So the skincare market is a huge market. It's a huge industry. They actually claim that it'll be a $179 billion industry by 2022. Especially in Asia Pacific, it's a massive, massive, massive market. But the exciting product that we wanted to announce that has now been added to our line is a night cream. So many people over the years have said to me, "Oh, I don't use a night cream, or I don't wash my makeup off at night." And Christy often points this out to people because I mentioned once, and she heard it, that if you don't wash your makeup off at night, they say you actually age 7 days. So it's really, really important to cleanse your makeup off before you go to bed at night. Because while you're sleeping, your skin and your whole body really is going through a regeneration process. So it's basically it's needing to rejuvenate itself. It wants to rest, all that sort of thing. So if you can wash the dirty stuff off your face, it obviously gives your skin a much better option to breathe and do all those things while you're sleeping. But the other thing you want to be doing is giving your skin a big feed of nutrition, so that while you're sleeping and resting and your body's rejuvenating itself, it's taking on board all that beautiful nutrition. So this lovely night cream, which I am just loving, will help with some of the things that most of us are concerned about, which is dehydration, as I mentioned, especially in our climate. The other thing is fine lines and wrinkles, but also dull, uneven skin tones. And a lot of that can be attributed to things like the sun and our environment. But if your skin is dehydrated, you will age a lot faster. So this night cream will definitely help to relieve some of the symptoms. So introducing our beautiful Gervais Nourishing Night Cream. And they say it's like beauty sleep, only better. So I've definitely found I've only been using it. How long have we been back from Hong Kong? The first week of July. So it's probably not even 6 weeks. But I have definitely noticed a big difference in how my skin looks and feels. And it's almost instant. It's almost like I wake up in the morning every day. And especially for that first week of using it, it was like every day I'd look in the mirror and think, oh my gosh, my skin looks better today than it did yesterday. It's just been amazing. And it's definitely helped with some pigmentation and things that I had using these products. So the Gervais night cream, like I said, you may feel tired, but you won't look tired. And that's what we all want. We all want to be able to get up feeling refreshed and looking and feeling beautiful, and knowing that what we've put on our skin overnight while we were sleeping was safe and healthy. So the key benefits of this night cream are that they will firm so that the skin looks and feels lifted. It will diminish the appearance of fine lines and wrinkles, so the skin will look and feel more youthful and luminous, because that's what we all want to do. We all want to die at a very old age, still looking young, apparently. So the other thing this night cream will do is replenish tired-looking skin with potent extracts and smart plant stem cells, so the skin looks more firm and bright. So many of you may have heard of the use of stem cells in skincare. It's always been something I've been a little bit scared of myself. And the reason for that isn't because I had heard of plant-based stem cells being used, but because I'd heard of human stem cells being used in a lot of skincare. Now you might think, well, what's wrong with that? You know, a lot of products have got animal products in them. We eat meat and all that sort of thing. But if any of you are sitting near anybody like Mary and Moira, you can turn around and look at each other's butts, because that's actually where the human stem cells come from, is human butt fat, as Deanna Latson calls it. So the problem with that is that there's no way to regulate that. We don't know where those stem cells have come from, what the person was, you know, what sort of lifestyle they lived. Were they a drinker, a smoker, a drug addict? Were they fat? You know, were they toxic? How do we know any of those things about that person, where those stem cells were extracted from? So I don't know about you, but I'm actually much more comfortable with putting plant stem cells on my face than somebody else's butt fat. on my face. It's just something to think about. And the other thing this beautiful night cream will do is to hydrate and soothe the skin, which we've already mentioned. So it's really, really important in our environment to be hydrating our skin. It's probably the most important thing we can be doing, really, besides drinking lots of water. And we also offer this amazing water bottle, which helps us to drink clean, healthy water. So some of the really cool ingredients that are in this night cream are things that I had never heard of before, because this company have gone to great lengths to find and source the cleanest and purest products out there that actually work. So one of them is the Persian silk tree, which fancy name is Protesia. I'm not even sure how to say that, and I'm not even going to try and say the next bit of it, but the Persian silk tree. So apparently this bark extract assists the overnight process that helps support the skin to look more rested and refreshed and visibly reduce the signs of fatigue. The other pretty cool one is the Budlahar stem cells, which are extracted from a butterfly bush. And apparently the bees and hummingbirds are really, really drawn to this bush, and it's almost like a drug to them. So they're obviously getting something good from it. So if we can take from that and use it on our skin, it's obviously working. So the other thing is that there's another fancy word there that I'm not even actually going to try and pronounce, Spilanthes asamela plant, and the Rita complex, which is a natural multifunctional ingredient that contains antimicrobial properties and helps retain moisture and rejuvenate the skin as well. So they're using some amazing ingredients in these products that are all safe, plant-based, and the clinical studies that were done on this night cream actually even blew this company away, and apparently also blew away the company who does the third-party testing, because they said they had never seen a product that basically got 100% in every single category. So 100% of people in a 6-week trial showed a visible reduction in crow's feet and fine lines. 100% observed skin was softer and felt smoother. 100% observed skin appeared visibly younger and healthier looking. 100% would recommend the product to a friend. 100% would purchase the product, and 90% observed that their skin was visibly firmer. And apparently it's not the done thing for these third-party testing company to ever give out the name of the company that the trial was done for. But apparently they actually rang our company, Javet, and said they wanted to know the name of the product, because everybody who did the trial wanted to purchase the products, which is pretty phenomenal. So pretty exciting to be working with a company that offers such amazing products and ingredients. And the other thing that I nearly fell off my seat when they announced in Hong Kong, after doing the talk that I did before that I've been doing for years about the EWG, these products are actually EWG verified. And we are one of the first companies to come on board with that. Now, the EWG apparently stands for Environmental Working Group, and they're like the body that actually oversees the cosmetic world. They're like their own little, what's the word I'm looking for? Like that Nazi, I guess, that oversee the cosmetic industry. Because like I said earlier, there's no actual official governing body. But for the products to be EWG verified, they need to follow really strict guidelines and be completely transparent with the EWG about our practices and how we manufacture and the ingredients and where they come from and all that sort of thing. So when we were at the conference, they talked about, if you imagined how many skincare or cosmetic products there are out there on the market, there would be like hundreds of thousands of products. But they just looked at the ones that were available online through Amazon or through the Asian version of Amazon, and there was over 500,000 products. And the EWG itself, there's only 957 products that are EWG verified. Now that's products, individual products, not companies or brands. So it's pretty amazing that the products that I'm working with now actually are EWG verified, which, you know, is just sold the product to me before I even tried it. And then once I tried it, the results that I've had, I'm just in love with these products. So we do have a list called our Never Ever list, which I can send to all of you if I haven't already given it to some of you. It actually will list all of the ingredients that I've mentioned, plus many more, that you can go into your cupboards at home and have a look through, and hopefully you're not too horrified by what you've been using up until now. But if you are, obviously we can help you with skincare products. We can also help you with shampoo, conditioner, body wash, fluoride-free toothpaste, and those sort of products that you can be using on. And we've also got products for in your body too. But knowing that everything you're using every day is safe is just so reassuring. So not only are these products never ever list compliant, they're non-comedogenic, which if you don't know what that means that they don't clog the pores, so they won't cause acne or blackheads or things like that. And we're Leaping Bunny certified, which is something I'm also really passionate about. So not only do we not use animal products or byproducts in our products, we don't test on animals at all either, which is really, really important to me and hopefully to a lot of you as well. So this is our serum and day cream, and then I've just showed you the night cream. So the PM routine, you can use the brightening cream before the night cream or just the night cream by itself. So I'm going to end it there, Christy, because I could go on and on and on and talk all night, but hopefully everyone's got a lot out of that. And if they've got any questions, I will stop sharing. So yeah, amazing products that I've just fallen in love with and can't speak highly enough of. And look, I asked all the girls on Saturday actually at the training at the end how old they thought I was. I'm going to ask all of you to guess too. You obviously don't need to tell me out loud, but they all said I was about 30 to 32, so I was pretty happy with that. So obviously these products are working, because I'll tell you all a little secret, I'm actually 38. So I think I look pretty good for 38. So there you go, Christy. How'd I go?
Thank you very much. Yes. Here you're getting applause. Mary's giving Mary and the ladies are giving you applause and nods and smiles everywhere. Awesome. Lynn says it was awesome. Thank you. Now, Kelly, your hand's up there. Are you wanting to say something? Okay. I didn't know if you just pressed that by accident, so I'm going to unmute you and let you speak.
Well,
Just wondered if there was a cleanser.
We don't yet have a cleanser, but there is one promised that is coming, apparently. So hopefully not too much longer before it comes. But yes, it's very, very important to be using a decent cleanser. So I can recommend
Do you
one.
know anything about?
What was
do you know
that?
anything about Mugu?
I do.
Have you heard of Mugu?
Yeah,
Food?
I do. You can send me. You're obviously my friend on Facebook. Kelly's my cousin. So Natalie, can you see who that is? Can you see Natalie there, Kelly?
No.
Send me a picture of the ingredients list on Facebook. Anybody can do that, and I'm more than happy to have a look at them and give you an idea of what you're actually using and whether I recommend it or not. So, yeah, no worries.
So yes, so any questions that you have, it is getting into the night. I don't know about everyone else, but I've got a lot of information overload in my head right now. So yes, the Never Ever list is an amazing tool. I do know some people actually take it with them when they go shopping because it helps, any products that we currently don't have in our range, which, we are working on filling them. And the reason why we don't have, that's my lip balm that's apparently grown legs and keeps attacking me there. That the reason why we don't have that full range right now is if you watch anything on our amazing Deanna Latson, and she doesn't compromise, she will not compromise on anything. So if it's not schmicko, as we would say here in Australia, because we've got a few Americans on, then it won't go on the shelves. It won't be out there to go to the research. So it's still in the research and development stage. Dina says that Dr. Ginger actually recently stated that she uses the Revive Body range, the Revive Body Wash as a cleanser. That's what I also use as well. And then there's other ladies here asking for prices and things like that. So majority of this is, we can just say this is Tenneille's call because we've been inundated, that you all know Tenneille. So Tenneille's going to be busy tomorrow, or maybe she may not go to bed anytime soon, and can individually, if you just want to private message her on Facebook, ask her any questions, and she can look at all of your ingredients if that's what you want her to do. She'll try and be kind when you do share the ingredients list with her. But I think we could be here all night. We could all ask questions all night or all morning. But I thank you, everyone, for coming. Thank you, Tenneille. That was amazing. It is recorded. I will do a bit of chopping and changing and taking out a few things. But for anyone that will like that to listen to the recording again, I will have that available, and so will Tenneille very soon. But thank you, everyone, for this evening and this morning for your time. Please feel free to get in touch with whoever put you on the call tonight. And have a nice evening. Have a great day, Dina and Kelly. Bye, everyone.
Bye.